The WNBA just dropped a nuclear bomb on one of its own players. And honestly, nobody saw this coming. Chennedy Carter has been banned indefinitely. But let's call this what it really is. This isn't a suspension. This isn't a timeout. This is a full-blown career execution. The league basically took her career, put it in a blender, and hit puree. How does a former top draft pick go from being the future of women's basketball to being completely blackballed overnight? And why are her own teammates, the people who share a locker room with her every single day, refusing to say a single word in her defense? Today, we're exposing everything. The incident, the investigation, the punishment, and the behind-the-scenes drama the WNBA tried so hard to keep quiet. Trust me when I say this story runs way deeper than just one shove. Before we dive in, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for Hoop Uncovered. We don't do fluff. We do real basketball stories that nobody else is telling. Now let's get into it. Let's go back to the moment that changed everything. Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. The arena was absolutely packed to the rafters. Fans were on the edge of their seats. The energy? Through the roof. This wasn't just another regular season game. This was must-watch basketball. Caitlin Clark was doing exactly what she does best. Controlling the flow of the game like a chess grandmaster. Finding teammates with pinpoint passes that seem to defy physics. Hitting shots from distances that make absolutely no logical sense. The rookie sensation was putting on an absolute clinic, and Chicago was feeling the heat. As the Fever mounted their comeback, you could feel the tension building. The squeaking of sneakers. Coaches screaming instructions. The crowd noise swelling with every single possession. It was playoff intensity in the regular season. And then, it happened. Without any basketball reason whatsoever, no loose ball to fight for, no shot to contest, no play to make, Chennedy Carter delivered a full-force shove that sent Clark crashing to the hardwood. And I mean crashing. Hard. This wasn't a basketball play. Not even close. This was something else entirely. This was personal. The arena went dead silent. That eerie quiet when thousands of people collectively hold their breath. You could hear a pin drop in that building. Replays didn't help Carter's case. From every single angle, it looked deliberate. Calculated. Completely and utterly unnecessary. One veteran WNBA analyst who was sitting courtside put it bluntly. And I quote, "In my 15 years covering women's basketball, I've seen physical play. I've seen hard fouls. I've seen heated moments. But this was different. This crossed a line between competitive intensity and outright aggression with absolutely no basketball purpose whatsoever. That's not analysis. That's a warning sign." After an exhaustive investigation, the league office finally announced their decision. And the official statement? It didn't mince words. They called Carter's actions, and I'm quoting directly here, a deliberate assault inconsistent with the values of professional basketball. Let that sink in. They used the word assault. The punishment? An indefinite suspension with conditions for reinstatement. That sounds official, right? Sounds like there's a path back. But let's be real about what this actually means. Multiple sources speaking on condition of anonymity have confirmed what we all suspected. Those conditions are specifically designed to be virtually impossible to meet. This isn't an accident. This is intentional. "Let's call it what it is," said one high-ranking team executive. "This is a ban in everything but name." The league crafted the punishment this way to remove Carter from competition while minimizing potential legal challenges. It's strategic. It's calculated. And it's brutal. The terms go way beyond a typical suspension. We're talking over 500 hours of community service. Extensive behavioral assessments. A probationary period that would severely restrict her earnings and freedom of movement even if she somehow gets reinstated. The financial impact is absolutely devastating. When you factor in lost salary, potential endorsements that are now gone, and future earnings that will never materialize, we're talking about a hit exceeding $1.2 million. No cap. That's career-ending money right there. For a 25-year-old athlete, that's life-altering. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. Because the Clark incident? It wasn't some isolated outburst. It was the final chapter in a long, troubling story of professional problems. Let me take you back. Carter came into the league as the 4th overall pick in the 2019 draft. The Atlanta Dream believed they were getting a franchise cornerstone. A dynamic scorer with elite athleticism and defensive intensity that could change the face of their franchise. But the dream quickly turned into a nightmare. Behind closed doors, Carter reportedly got into a heated locker room confrontation with teammate Courtney Williams that nearly turned physical. And for context, Courtney Williams is widely regarded as one of the most level-headed, positive presences in the entire league. If you're having issues with her, the problem is probably you. It wasn't just normal teammate tension. According to a former Dream staff member, it was the kind of confrontation that splits a team apart. The kind that makes players choose sides. Carter's time in Atlanta came to an abrupt end. But the story was far from over. She landed with the Los Angeles Sparks, where the pattern continued with alarming speed. During team film sessions, Carter repeatedly interrupted coaches, dismissing their tactical advice with statements like, "That's not going to work." And then she'd just walk out. Right in the middle of film session. The situation deteriorated so rapidly that the Sparks made a financial decision that still stuns WNBA insiders to this day. The organization paid Carter approximately $90,000, nearly a third of their entire salary cap, simply to make her go away. Think about that for a second. In a league where teams count every single dollar and financial resources are stretched paper thin, this extraordinary payment tells you everything you need to know about how desperate they were to remove her from their locker room. They paid her to leave. That's not a breakup. That's an eviction. Carter's arrival in Chicago represented her final chance at WNBA redemption. The Sky, hoping her undeniable talent would finally align with professional growth, took a calculated gamble. By the time the Clark incident occurred, that gamble had already backfired spectacularly. Behind the scenes, chemistry issues emerged almost immediately. One Chicago staff member described the locker room as walking on eggshells around Carter. Nobody knew what version of her would show up on any given day. The social media activity told its own story. In the weeks leading up to the Clark incident, there were subtle unfollowings. Cryptic posts about respecting the game. Notable absences from team bonding activities. The writing was on the wall, and everyone could read it except the person it was about. Most telling was how quickly Carter's teammates distanced themselves after the incident. Angel Reese, who had initially seemed to form a genuine bond with Carter, unfollowed her across all social media platforms within hours of that shove. Hours. Not days. Not weeks. Hours. That silent action spoke volumes about where loyalties ultimately resided. Actions speak louder than words, and that action was deafening. After the incident, Carter had one final chance. One shot to salvage her reputation and her career. The post-game press conference was her opportunity. 30 seconds of genuine remorse could have changed everything for her. A simple acknowledgement of crossing the line. An expression of regret. Basic, human accountability. That's all it would have taken to keep her career alive. Instead, viewers witnessed what one media veteran called career suicide in real time. Carter's body language told the story before she even spoke. Arms crossed defensively. Eyes rolling at straightforward questions. Audible sighs into the microphone. She was sending a message before she even said a single word. When directly asked about the incident with Clark, her response left journalists stunned. And I want you to hear these words exactly as she said them. "Actually, I'm focused on New York right now. I'm not really focused on that play anymore. It happened. Okay, it's just basketball. It just happened. Like it's over with. I don't know why we're dragging it," she said, and I quote again. "It's just basketball." She called assaulting another player just basketball. That dismissive, flippant attitude confirmed everything team executives had feared. Carter remained completely incapable of the self-reflection necessary to grow as a professional. The press conference didn't just fail to repair her image. It actively reinforced every single concern about her character. When asked if she had any regrets about not addressing the situation immediately, she doubled down. "No, I don't have any regrets not addressing it right away. Let me tell you guys something. I'm a person who, when something happens, I need time to get my thoughts together." Those gathered thoughts revealed everything about her mindset. And league decision-makers were watching closely. They saw everything they needed to see. The announcement of Carter's ban triggered an unprecedented wave of support from within the WNBA community. And I mean unprecedented. Players who typically stay silent on disciplinary matters broke tradition to publicly back the decision. This almost never happens. Players usually circle the wagons. Not this time. Our league is growing in ways we fought decades for, posted one veteran all-star on social media. No individual player stands above the respect we've earned and continue to build. Coaches across the league integrated discussions about professionalism into their team meetings. They used the situation as a teachable moment without even directly referencing Carter. We're having deeper conversations about what it means to represent women's basketball globally, revealed one assistant coach. This goes beyond one incident or one player. It's about the standard we maintain for ourselves. Most notable was the reaction from Carter's Chicago teammates. Complete silence. No public defense. No character references. No suggestions of excessive punishment. Nothing. In an era where player solidarity typically overrides organizational boundaries, their unified decision to say absolutely nothing speaks volumes. When your own teammates won't speak up for you, that's the loudest silence imaginable. Carter's basketball future now faces a crossroads filled with uncertainty. And honestly, it doesn't look good. International leagues that once welcomed WNBA talent with open arms have grown increasingly selective about character concerns. European teams have evolved, explained one international agent with multiple WNBA clients. 5 years ago, talent alone would open doors regardless of baggage. Today, chemistry and professionalism rank nearly as high in the evaluation process. The market for players with documented issues has shrunk dramatically. Teams don't want the headache anymore. The financial reality is equally harsh. Carter's endorsement potential has evaporated overnight. Brands that were reportedly in advanced stages of discussions have terminated everything. When accounting for player contracts, sponsorships, and post-career opportunities, the total earnings differential between her projected path and current reality could exceed $4 million. For the WNBA itself, this moment represents a definitive stance during a period of unprecedented growth. With broadcast viewership up 87% year-over-year and merchandise sales hitting historic levels, the league has clearly prioritized its collective image over accommodating individual talent, no matter how electrifying. The saddest part of Carter's story is how preventable it all seems. Her basketball ability, the lightning-quick first step, creative finishing around the rim, defensive intensity, should have guaranteed a decorated career with multiple all-star appearances and financial security. One fundamental flaw: an inability to prioritize team success and professional accountability. That's what closed the door on her time at basketball's highest level. Like a star burning too hot, Carter has extinguished her own light. The talent didn't disappear. The opportunities didn't vanish on their own. She burned every single bridge herself. The WNBA's message resonates clearly through this unprecedented punishment. In today's WNBA, talent alone no longer provides immunity from accountability. From rookie orientation sessions to veteran leadership councils, Carter's story will echo as the ultimate cautionary tale. A promising career derailed not by injury or circumstance, but by choices. Her own choices. As women's basketball continues its meteoric rise, every player now understands the elevated standards that accompany the sport's growing platform. The league is saying it loud and clear: we value our growth too much to let any individual threaten it, no matter how talented they might be. This is a defining moment for the WNBA. A moment of clarity where the league didn't just make a decision about one player. They made a statement about all players. Talent opens doors, but professionalism and accountability keep them open. Now, while everyone else is focused on drama, Caitlin Clark is focused on domination. She's not getting caught up in the noise. She's letting her game do the talking. And the latest footage shows exactly why she's the future of this league. If you want to see Caitlin Clark's incredible transformation and understand why she's about to take over women's basketball, click the video right here. And before you go, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button for Hoop Uncovered. We bring you the real stories. The deep dives. The truth that nobody else is telling. Every week, we break down the biggest stories in basketball with no filter and no fluff. Subscribe to Hoop Uncovered right now. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And drop a comment below. Do you think the WNBA went too far with Carter, or was this punishment justified? I'll be reading every single comment. This is Hoop Uncovered, signing off. Keep your eyes on the game, not the drama. See you in the next one.